Hello and welcome to another tutorial from MOO ICT. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make a helicopter flying and shooting game. So in this game we basically fly this helicopter here. It's an animated GIF, and then we have these aliens coming through. These are the pillars that we have to avoid, and you can shoot from the helicopter towards the aliens, and then you have to avoid the platforms. Okay, let's just take a look at the game. Okay, so I can shoot by pressing the space key. You can see I've got bullets coming out of the helicopter, and then as I shoot the aliens, I get a score. Okay, and so if you hit one of the platforms, the game ends, and then I press enter to restart the game. Okay, and if you hit the alien, then the game ends as well. And obviously if you hit the bottom platform, the game ends. So this is like a simple sort of a infinite flying game. So it's just to survive as long as you can by killing as many aliens as you can in the game. So we're going to be making this game inside a Windows form with C# programming. I do hope you guys enjoy it. So let's get started. So first I'm going to make a new project in Visual Studio. So going to make it under Windows Form Application .NET Framework. Let's call this one Helicopter Shooter Game MOO ICT. Click Create. So this is the default view of the project. First thing what we need to do is we need to download the pictures from the MOO ICT website. So you can go to the link in the descriptions and then download the helicopter, the pillars, and the alien spaceships pictures from the website. There's also a written tutorial embedded into the page. You can look into that to further your understanding on how we're making this game. But I'm going to be covering everything from start to finish on how to make this game in this video tutorial. Okay, so to start, let's make a few changes to the form. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna change the title to say Helicopter Shooter Game MOO ICT. Let's change the size to say 941.17. So slightly wider than what it was before. Let's go to the background color, the back color option. Change that to sky blue. Okay, so let's go and add a picture box to the scene. So we're just going to right click, say choose image. I just want to import everything first. So this is the pillar. So if I select the pillar, inside the tag, name this one pillar. Change size mode to stretch image. Sorry, let's change the size mode to auto size. Change the size mode to stretch image so you can make it as long and short that you want. So make it slightly like this, and gonna be just there. We're just interested in the left value of both of these. So let's go and add another picture box here. Go to choose image, say helicopter. So this one we can set to size limit to auto size, so it just fits around the player. Okay, so let's call this one player here. So, and we do need to change the names of these too. So say pillar 1, pillar 2. Of course, they have the tags as well. Okay, so let's add another picture box. So this is going to be for the UFO images. So say you can just pick alien 1. Let's go to size mode, set to auto size, alien probably here. name this one UFO, and let's add a timer. Okay, I'm going to change this timer's name to game timer, change the interval to 20, change enable to true. Okay, then we also need a label to keep score on how many UFOs we killed. So let's go change the font option, say 14. Can change the fore color to white, and then change the score here to 0. And we also just give it a name, txt score. I think we're pretty much ready at the moment. So now what we can do is click on the timer, go to the events, and type in main timer event. So we're just going to call the event main timer event and press enter, and it should link the main timer event to the timer. Now click on the form and go to key is down and key up, and just type in key is up inside of that one. Okay, so they should correspond with when the form sort of catches if any of the keys are down or any of the keys are released from when we are running the game. Okay, so let's get started on some coding. So first thing first, let's add some variables, global variables that we need for this game. So we're going to need a few booleans. We want to declare them all in one line. So go up, go down, because our player can only move up and down. Let's say shot, and then game over. So initially all of these booleans will be set to false, so we can do them, we can declare them sort of in one line. Okay, so let's go to int score, let's set the default value to 0, int speed 8, so that's the speed for the player, in UFO speed to, let's say, 10. Oh no, I think that's first speed was for the pillars. Yeah. Okay, we've got the UFO speed, and then we have to do the random. So we need a random number generator so to determine where the UFOs are going to be placed in the scene. And we have an index, int player speed. And let's go 7. We also need an index int. So the index one is going to determine how we change the UFOs images once they have surpassed this side of the scene. So when they go there, we're just going to change it to another one, so and then place it over here. So instead of spawning different picture boxes, we're just going to be using one if the player has shot the UFO or the UFO has gone past the scene. We need a few custom functions to make this game work. So first one we're going to need is private void, say restart game. Okay, second one is game over, so we're going to give a game over function, lowercase b. Okay, we also need a way to remove the bullets. Okay, so inside of this one we're going to take an argument of a picture box, and the picture box can be called bullet. We'll work that out later on. Another one to make the bullet. And we also need one to change the UFO. So these are the custom functions that we need for this game. So just going to make it slightly modular, so we're doing different things inside of different functions. So to start, let's start with the key is down function. So say if Okay, so if the key that's pressed is up, I'll change it, go up to true. You say keys dot down, then change it, go down to true. And we also need to check if the space button is spacebar is pressed. So if okay, and we also going to look for if shot is equals false. Then we can run the make bullet function. So okay, and we also change shot to true. Okay, so in this basically we are doing like two different conditions inside this if statement. So if the key spacebar is pressed and the shot boolean is false, then only then we'll run the make bullet function that's going to make a new bullet for us in the scene, and then we will change the shot boolean to true. Okay, so inside the key up function is going to be slightly reversal of the key is down with a few changes. So if so go up is going to be false this time. So when the keys are released, we're going to change them to false. Let's say go down to false as well. So instead of checking the space bar, what we want to do is we're just going to check for the shot boolean. So say shot equals true, then we're just going to change shot equals false. That is once the keys are released, then we're just going to change that to false. Okay, we also need to do one for the enter key when the game is over. So we can say if the enter and when to check game over is set to true, then we can run the restart function. Okay, so now we can start with the restart function. Let's set up all of these. So go up, let's set that to false, go down to false, shot to false, and then game over to also false, score to 0, speed 8, UFO speed 10. Let's just score as well. Okay, so just setting up the default values for these variables and also for the label, so that way everything when the game restarts, everything starts from where it needs to be. Okay, I think what we'll do is we'll run the change UFO function here as well, so that way the UFO gets repositioned, which we'll program in a minute. Okay, and what we'll do is we need to check the default position for the player. So go back to the properties, go to location. So the location is, the top location is 119, I think. Yeah, 119. Okay, so you can say here player.top equals 119. So it starts the game from there. And the pillar, so the first pillar location is 579. Yep, so pillar 1 dot left is equal to 579. So pillar 2. So pillar 2 location is going to be 253. Okay. Okay, and right after that we just need to start the game timer. So the game timer just needs to start. So that would pretty much do for the restart function. Yeah, let's get on with the game over function now. So in the game over function is only going to run when the player actually hits any of the UFO or the pillars. So let's first do game timer dot stop. So that's just going to stop the game timer from running. Txt score dot text. So we're just going to update some information in here when the game is over, so the player knows what to do once they hit any other elements in the game. So we can say score. Let's say plus score, of course, and then we also do a plus next to it, so we can add something else on top of it, right? So we can just say game over, press enter to retry, and then do a semicolon end of the line. Okay, and then we change the game over to true. So we got two game overs. One with the lowercase is the boolean, so just make sure it's the lowercase one. So the capital one is the function. So game over set to true. Okay, so in programming they see the capital and the lowercase as two different things. So that's why it's very important to use camel casing when you're using it for the functions or for the boolean, so you can actually differentiate them. Okay, so that would do for the game over function. Let's go to the remove bullet. So this function we're going to run inside the timer once the bullet has either hit the enemy or has left the scene. So if you hit the enemy, then we want to obviously remove the bullet from the scene, and if he has left the scene, then we also want to remove the bullet, because otherwise we're going to end up with, like, you know, maybe hundreds of bullets, unused resources in the game. That's just going to be hogging the memory. So let's go and remove this. So say this dot controls dot remove, and we're just going to call the bullet. So that's going to be the local variable there, and we're also going to say bullet dispose, not display, dispose. So it actually removes it completely from the resources for the game. Alright, now let's write the make bullet function. So inside of here we're going to say picture box, okay, bullet equals new picture box. Right, so we're creating a new instance of a picture box. So say bullet. Just give it like a dark orange color. You can even give it a maroon color if you want to, so you can see better. Okay, say bullet dot height. So we want the bullet to be flat in a way. So the height can be like 5 and the width can be about 10. Okay, so it looks like a torpedo coming out of the helicopter. Okay, so say bullet dot left position is going to be player dot left plus player dot width. So it's going to be in the front of the player. So player dot left is here and player dot width is right here. So it's going to be front. So it's going to be coming out of the front of the player. Okay, and then we want to be in the middle of the. So bullet dot top is going to be player dot top plus player dot height divided by 2. So it'll be right in there. So it's going to calculate the height of it, and it'll be right in the middle of this one. Okay, so then we want to do bullet dot tag. This is quite important because this is how we're going to identify the bullet from inside the timer. So bullet's going to have a tag called bullet, and lastly it's going to say this dot controls dot add, now remove, and then add the bullet. So in this function we are removing the bullet, and then in this function we are adding the bullet. Okay, it's time to do the last custom function, which is the change UFO. So inside of here we're going to check first is if index is say greater than 3, and then So index is equal to 1. So index is what's going to sort of control the UFO change. So and then else we can say index plus equals 1. So every time this function runs, it's going to add 1 to index, and then if index goes above 3, it's going to bring index back to 1 again. Okay, so the nice thing about this is that with this index number, now we can determine which alien is going to change on which number. So let's just do that. So we're going to do a switch statement. Okay, and inside the switch statement, we're going to check for index. Right, okay, we don't need that at the moment, so we'll just put our own in here. So let's say case 1. Right, so if it's case 1, we're going to change UFO image to resources.alien1. After that, we'll just put a break, and then we'll go to case 2 colon. For the image equals properties.resources.alien2. Okay, and then we're also going to do a break here. So if the index is, when the function runs, if the index is number 2, then it's going to go to the alien2. Okay, and then go to 3, UFO.image equals alien3. Okay, then we also do a break. So switch statements are similar to if statements, but with switch statements we have a bit more control over some of the stuff that happens, and of course, you know, you can sort of see it's a bit more organized as well, so it kind of helps us to see easily read some of the stuff that we need. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for the switch statement, and then we need to say, obviously we need to determine where, when the function runs, where this UFO is going to be positioned at. So we're just going to position it to like 1000, left equals 1000, right? So it's off the scene. And then we'll do a so UFO.top is going to be equals 1.next, right? So say between maybe it's 20 height and minus, it's still inside the form. Okay, so we want to go from somewhere to 20, so it's not too high, and then somewhere about here, so you just spawn in between. I think we've pretty much done all of it except for the main one. That's the one that's actually going to make it work. So let's start with updating the text. So, and then obviously we can check if go up is equals to true, so we can actually move the player up. And we also need to check if player.top is still greater than 0. So if it's still inside the form from top of the scene, forgot the and there. Okay, and then we can say player.top is minus equals to player speed, semicolon. Okay, and then let's go check if go down is equals to true, of course, and we also check to see if player.top plus player.height is still less than, so it is still inside the scene from bottom of the form. Then we can say player.top is going to be plus equals player speed. Okay, I want to test it out, but before I do that, I want to also check the UFO as well. So the UFO, so say UFO dot left is going to be minus equals UFO speed, and we also say if UFO dot left and plus is less than 0, then we'll run the change UFO function just to see how that works for us. Right, so let's go and start that now. See the UFOs moving again. I change to another UFO. Okay, change to another one. I can move the helicopter up and down. Okay, let's press the spacebar enough. It's making the bullet, but the bullet isn't going anywhere at the moment. Okay, so as you can imagine, once I'm building a wall, none shall pass. Okay, that didn't work. Nice. Okay. I think we have done most of it for the thingy, but we just need to move the bullets over, and we also need to move the pillars. So okay, let's do a for each loop. Yeah, let's say control X. So if control X in this control, so I can say if X is picture box and a string really. So X dot tag is equal to pillar. Okay, so first thing first is we'll move the pillars over. So you can say X dot left is minus equal to speed. Left is minus equal to speed. Okay, so we're moving the pillars toward the left of the screen, and then of course we say if X dot X dot left is say less than minus 200 equals like 1000. It just gets pushed towards edge of the scene. Okay, so we can test that out, see if both of them, because we have the tags to them, so you can see I haven't done anything for the bullets yet. So see, although the helicopter is staying in the same spot, it looks like it's moving forward because everything else is moving towards it. Okay. Okay, cool. So now done the we'll do the interaction between the pillars later on. Let's go find the bullets first. So inside of this one, we're going to say if X is picture box again and check for a string. Say bullet. So if X is a picture box and it has a tag called bullet, then we want to change the X dot left to say 25, right? So we're going to add 25 pixels to the left of X. So it's, as soon as he finds one, it's going to shoot it that way. Okay. We also need to check if, say for example, I'm going to change that to say this is about 900, right? So okay. So say for example, if X dot left is say greater than 800, I'm going to check visibly if I can see the bullets being removed from the scene. So we're going to say remove bullet, right? And then inside of here we're going to need to say picture box like this, and then X. So we're going to need a few. Right, so as you can see, it's brackets all over. So this is the functions bracket there, and then this is the bracket that's actually holding the picture box X together. So in order to pass it to the function, we need to specify that this X here is indeed a picture box. So that's how this function will know what to do with it once it receives it. Okay, so let's try that out and see what happens. So now, cool. So alright, so they're actually not going past. So see, when it goes to 800, it actually disappears, and that basically means that it's being disposed from the program, so it's no longer being used. Okay, that is excellent. So we can change the number to something higher now, so we can change the number to like 900, so it actually goes to the edge of the scene. Yeah, so that's better. Okay, copy this here. Okay, so now we need to check for the interaction between the bullet and the UFO. So say if UFO.bounds intersect with x.bounds, right? So if this x, that's the bullet, has intersected with the UFO, then what we're going to do is we're going to remove the bullet again, add one to the score, right, and then we're going to run the change UFO function, right? So that way the bullet will be removed, the UFO will be repositioned, and we'll have one to the score because you hit the UFO. Okay, so let's try that now. So let's see, I can shoot the UFO, and then I get a score, and the UFO gets repositioned again. Okay. That's very good. So one other thing we need is to check for the interaction between the pillars and the UFO, right? So let's say here is if intersect with x.bound. So this is the pillars here. So if we intersect with the pillar, then we're going to say just go and check the game over function. That is not the game over function. Okay, so we're just going to run the game over function here. Okay, once again, just make sure it's the capital one. So because the lowercase 1 is the boolean and the capital 1 is the function. Okay, what we also need to do is we need to check if the player is intersecting with the UFO. Right, so here is where the for each loop ends. So outside of this, let's say here if so if it does intersect, then we can run the game over function again. Make the game slightly more interesting. We can add a speed up function if the score is say above 10. So if you kill 10 UFOs, then we can say speed set to 12, and then UFO speed set it to like 18. So it's a little bit harder to play. So you guys can play around with these numbers and see what happens. So let's take a look. So now I can shoot. Let me hit the UFO. So the text comes up. I can hit enter, and then it restarts the game. Okay. And let's see. Let me hit this pillar here. Restarts. Hit the bottom pillar. Starts again. Okay, so let me just get like 10 UFOs just to check if the speed up function is working. What's that? Oh, there we are. Alright, nice. Okay, so this has been a fairly simple tutorial. We have created quite a few custom functions, and we worked around them to actually make into a workable game. I do hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you on the next one.